day everyone, I am John Jamin Obeja and I will be the third reporter for today. And I will going to continue the discussion that has been tackled so far from the first and the second reporter for today. And I will going to discuss the remaining topics covered on the third chapter, which is entitled The Modifiers of Human Acts. So let us proceed from the first slide, which is we're going to talk about violence. Violence refers to any physical force exerted on a person by another free agent for the purpose of compelling said person to act against his will. An example of that are the following: bodily torture, maltreatment, isolation, and mutilation. So violence does two principles, which is called external or commanded actions and elicited acts. So when we say the word external actions or commanded actions, it was performed by a person subjected to violence to which reasonable resistance has been offered, are involuntary and are not accountable, while on the other hand, elicited acts or those done by the will alone are not subjected to violence and are therefore voluntary. So the differences between these two words is that external or commanded actions were performed by the other person, which is it is not you who are doing this. While on the other hand, elicited acts is was performed within yourself. It is your free will, it is your decision to do such things. Um Way back in elementary, we all know of what violence is all about, since we all know from the first part that it is a basic word with a lot or with a deep meaning if you will just go beyond understanding of this word. So let us proceed on the next slide, which is we will going to discuss about the word habits. Habits is a lasting readiness and facility, born of frequently repeated acts, for acting certain manners. The word habit forming that we use to refer to certain experiences shows how easy it is for one to acquire a habit. Furthermore, habit is not easy to overcome or alter or change. Um, yes, for better or worse, humans are the creature of habits. And habits are overlearned modes of behavior because when someone starts giving the same response, the same stimuli over a period of time, they form a habit. And also, a habit is more like an addiction to certain things. And the best example of that is the one that has been stated at the bottom part. Alcoholism and smokers find it almost impossible to reform. Yes, it is because those people who were love drinking nor applying these activities, it is very difficult on their part to on not loving those things since they were used to it. You can't also order or demand nor dictate a person to change in a blink of an eye, because it is just like what I've said earlier, it is very difficult on their side to on avoiding those things that they like. It is because a habit is more like an addiction to certain things, which can be either good or bad. It's often very difficult to let go, but not impossible. So habits has also principles. Actions done by force of habit are voluntary in cause, unless a reasonable effort is made to counteract the habitual inclination. Moreover, habits are either good or bad, and also habits are voluntary in cause because they are the result of previously willed acts done repeatedly as a matter of fact. Yes, because we human that exist in this world, we are the creator of our habits. And I believe that habits is very vital, just like eating, cleaning, drinking, exercising, since we love doing those things, and it didn't harm at us. It is because we know from the first part, when we do such things, just something just like that, we love that and we believe we are comfortable in doing it. So I believe there's no such things that it could influence us a very worst in a very worst way. Let's proceed on the next slide, which talks about action and emotion. So man does not act the way a robot does without feeling or emotion. Emotions are generally instinctive in origin. Neither the degree of their intensity, clarity, or awareness makes them human acts to be judged as good or evil. They become good or evil by the attitude of the person manifesting them. A person who nourishes his feeling of hostility towards another is more prone to acquire the motive for inflicting harm on the object of his hatred. So the first bullet caught my attention, which is the man does not act the way a robot does, which is it is true. Because if as people compared to robots, the only varies to us is the emotion since they did not have that one. And emotion is or this as is our advantage rather if we were compared to the robots. And also, it is inherent nor natural to a person on having emotions because even though newborn babies has emotion too, they cried because they feel hurt, they cried because they feel uncomfortable, and they cry because they feel scared. And it is not questionable to a person of having emotions. The only questionable thing is if a person exists without emotion. That is a quite mysterious and questionable. So let us proceed on the next slide, which talks about refinement of emotion. So emotion as factors affecting human motivation and behavior. Man is expected to act not only with his mind and body, but precisely with his heart and soul. Doing good for another is not a virtue unless it comes from the love of what is good. So it is quite comfortable to feel to be being so heroic to help others. You can also consider your help as love when you are not expecting in return. But if you are helping but you are expecting a favor in return, it is just a literal help without any extraordinary meaning, and the word love is disregard on that matter. um Also, sorry to use a vernacular language or a vernacular word, but kaning if magtry mo gud ka og tabang sa usa ka tawo kanang murag kursunada jud kaayo ba ka ba kanang murag after nimo makatabang kanang murag lami gani sa paminaw nga kanang ingnan ka sa tao nga salamat nya murag lami sa tan-aw ng ilahang ngisi after nimo kanang lami po tan-awon ang kanang ilahang smile nor ang ilang gestures ug unsa sila kalipay sa imuhang tabang, then kaning murag something nga kanang murag ma-inspire gani ka or ma-motivate ka nga mas muhim mas mutabang payud og laing tao. Kanang murag ingon ana siya ba kanang mo na siya ang pasabot sa refinement of emotion. Kaning man is expected to act not only with his mind and body but precisely with his heart and soul. Kanang mura siya kanang og legit siya ba or authentic siya nga kanang tabang nimo kanang murag something genuine siya kanang murag walay pagpapanggap gani kanang bukal gyud sa imong kaloob kanang dili siya bukal sa imong kalooban kundi kanang murag decision gid nimo siya nga motabang kanang murag you are quite passionate nga or compassionate ka nang magtabang sa usa ka tao. So proceed on the next slide. Bernard Haring or Herring says that education through proper discipline and cultivation of emotional life, in which we include the cultivation of the values of character and disposition, is in many ways more significant than the tense training of willpower. The aims of ethics is not to turn man into an efficient machine to do things. Rather, it hopes to transform man by inner spiritual conversion. Based on my research, Bernard Haring or Herring was a German moral theologian and a redemptorist priest. So, on his statement that the aims of ethics is not to turn a man into an efficient machine to do things, which is it is true. Though ethics taught us of how to live properly, it help us to define nor to know what is good and bad, what is right and wrong, and how to live in an ethical or in an etiquette or an ethical way, which is we are quite prefer with. Um, to sum up everything that has been stated so far, kani siyang subject nga ethics is wala dili na siya nagapamugo sa imong nga mubag-o ka ug unsa imong natunan na ana nga kanang discussion ug unsa imong natunan na ana sulod nga kamo nag-ila-ila na nga subject, dapat i-apply nimo na siya sa tibuok sa imong kinabuhi. But nag-ano ni siya, nagmisula lang ni siya nga kaning suggestion nga kanang murag something pwede po nimo siya i-apply sa imong kinabuhi. Then the only thing is nag-hope lang ni siya nga mo change ka, but it didn't command nor order you to change. But still, the decision is still within yourself if i-apply ba nimo to siya nga katong mga values or not. It is your life, it is your decision, it is yourself. Then though nagtabang si ethics ato sa pag-define sa mali ug tama, sa maayo ug daotan, but still it is just hoping, not commanding nor ordering you to change. Next bullet, Filipinos refers to as kagandahan ng loob. It refers to attitude. Yes, it is because even foreigners says that Filipinos are the most hospitable and the friendly people around the world they know. It is because it is our trademark as a Filipino to welcome a visitors in our country. We make sure that they will feel at home even if it gives us a hard time. At least we are doing it just for their sake. And also kanang term na to nga bayanihan, isa po na siyang nakapaunsa sa to ang trademark as a Filipino. It is because biskag kanang murag something wala tay makayang kanang, especially in a financial term, but maningkamot gyapon ta nga motabang sa uban. Mo na siya ang isa sa mga maka-proud as a Filipino. Kanang murag isa na siya sa mga trademark na to as Pinoy nga biskag magkinaon sa magtinabangay gyapon ta ninyo. Kanang murag kanang dili mo siya makita sa lain bansa ba, kanang ingon ana ta ka open country, biskan dili nato kadugo sa ngalan nga nanginahanglan siya og tabangan nato na siya, and that is something I am proud as a Filipino. And oh, I guess that's the end of my report. Thank you so much for listening, guys, and I hope that there's something you've learned on my discussion. And for those classmates who are watching right now, if na may mga questions, feel free to chat me because I will always ready to answer your queries. Once again, this is John Viljamin Obeja, your third reporter for today. Thank you so much and adios.